Okay, so a few people have been asking me about just the GW minis I own for my Orks. So this is pretty much everything I have. None of my scratch built stuff. A few customized things, but nothing scratch built, nothing from other companies, just GW stuff. And I'm going to go through and show you what there is. So to start off with the grots. These guys here are the original Rogue Trader metal grots. I think they also used the same ones in 2nd edition. And second I had moved on to these single position plastic grots. Tons of those. And of course you have to have a run third for every squad. So I got my run thirds down the side there. And then I have one set of the brand new ones. I may pick up some more of them just because I really like the new grots. Yeah, he's actually an older one mixed in there. That's one of the older grots. Plugging the wrong ear while he's holding his gun. I admit my painting sucks and half the stuff aren't painted. These guys actually, the bases are left that color on purpose so I can differentiate units because I'm just that lazy. But yeah, none of these ones in the back are actually painted. So I'm lazy. I got too many things to paint them all. Those are the grots. We move on to boys. These are 2nd edition boys here. 2nd edition boy. Bolt pistol, axe. Checkering on their shoulder. I don't know if that'll come out on there. And I got a bunch of them. These blue ones in the back were actually my Mad Boys. They all have different, just random things. One guy's holding his axe upside down. That guy has a tire. There's a guy with a bush. That guy's actually stabbing himself in the head with his axe. I miss the old Mad Boys. And then we move to the newer boys, which I do have a couple squads of painted. See, and most of them are even based. And then you get back, these I actually, focus, there we go. These I actually bought off somebody pre-painted. And guy with the power claw there. And then the unpainted ones. And more. These are actually, I think, 2nd edition ones back here with the shooters. There's some Ork Youth. Old Gorka Morka figures there. A couple freebooters mixed in. But yeah, so there's boys there. And there's boys there. Oh, what to go to next? Nobz. My 15 Nobz there. Don't use Nobz too terribly much. At least not foot slogger ones. So, and Assault on Black Reach War Boss, which I'm going to strip down and actually turn him into a knob. Because I have another one right here. There's my big boss with his squeak attack arm. He used to lead my smaller armies. I have the old original Ghazghkull Thrakus and his little standard bearer Makari. I picked them up used, so he's kind of beat to hell. And it doesn't want to focus. There we go. So yeah, there's those guys. This is actually the standard bearer I built for this army. I don't know how well he'll come out. Not too bad. He's actually a fantasy Gretchen. Or goblin. Never got around to giving him a flag. But yeah, he was actually the guy I made for this army to be my standard. Here's one that people might not know. Is the old Weird Boy model. Focus. There we go. And it's actually got the 2 run thirds carrying him. That's the old Weird Boy. And I actually made my own because we used to use the warp heads from 2nd edition. Very cheesy, I know, but he did the trick. I love the wolf skin cloak. But yeah, he was one I built out of spare parts. And he served my purpose as a psyker for God knows how long. This is actually the guy I've been using for my war boss. And yes, he's from fantasy, but I love the figure. Gonna 40k him up a little bit. Can't get a good focus on him since he's pewter, but yeah, he's got a power claw, big axe, spiky bits, and a little goblin on his shoulder. He was actually from the Warhammer MMO. Oh, let's see, down here got a squad of classic what do you call them? Commandos, yeah. Don't even know what they're called, see? They've changed quite a bit. Right there's the really old Storm Boys. I actually use him for a drill boss, but he doesn't have a jetpack, so. But yeah, I broke one of their arms. I don't have any glue, so there's a couple figures broken in here. And my Mega Boys. I really like Mega Boys, but at the cost, I just never saw the point in actually buying a lot of the models. But I do own some. Ghazghkull Wartsnaga. He was a named run third back in the early days. Got two of him. I don't know what I'm going to do with the second one. Mech Boys. Yes, he has a square base. Believe it or not, back in the old days, we actually had square bases for 40K models. There's a newer Mech Boy there. This is the old shock attack gun. Kind of like the new one. Haven't picked one up yet. These are my Pain Boys. Bunch of different Pain Boys. That one's actually a cyborg. I can get down on him. And then this guy, I call him Doc Not So Good because he's actually only got one arm. And yes, he was modeled that way on purpose. And this is my favorite mech boy here. I call him Screw Loose. Yes, he's carrying a trolling motor and his gun is actually duct taped together. And yes, it's real duct tape. Got a bunch of shooter boy or heavy shooter boys here, big shooter, whatever they call them now. That guy's actually a bash kit of like 2 different models, but I really like him. Rocket launchers. There's the old heavy stubba kits. And like I said, there's a couple more that were broken that I don't have the glue to fix at the moment. There's the old custom combi weapon. And some various old, this is a not very good model, but it's a old Rogue Trader las cannon. And we got some old early 2nd edition las cannons there. Those are actually Imperial Guard weapons. Yeah, this is actually what the heavy weapon guys used to look like. It won't focus. There we go. Okay. Just throw it up there on their shoulder. This guy I'm actually kind of proud of. Yeah, he's actually firing an Eldar heavy plasma on a bipod, and it's, let's see if I can't get him on a surface here. He's actually getting knocked back from the blast of it firing. And my horrible painting skills, but I absolutely love that model. That was one of the first conversions I ever did back, God, almost 20 years ago when I started playing. Oh, let's see, I think that's everything on this table. We'll go up here. Support weapons. I actually have 4 real squid catapults. That one I'm missing a piece to. I have it on order. I don't know where it went. It got lost when I moved. There's 7 pulsar rockets, which they finally brought back, though they're quite a bit larger now. Got 4 of the new Death Skulls. I got 2 more packages of them somewhere that aren't built in a box. I gotta get them put together. And then I use the extra pieces to put together 4 Burner Boys, because you get enough to build both in the kit. You have 4 of the newer war buggies. That one's rainbow colors. I let my wife paint that one. I can't change it just because she painted it. But there's a heavily modified one that a friend of mine did for me back in the good old days of Gorka Morka. And there's 2 slightly modified. They haven't been finished yet. That one doesn't even have its gun. It's in a box somewhere. There's the original war buggy, missing its gunner. I gotta find him. He's still lost in a box. 2 of the newer war tracks. And 2 of the older war tracks. Notice the size difference. Everything in 40K gets bigger as time goes on. I'll show you that on some other stuff too. Here's the old Scorcher. And I actually have the parts to make one of these into a Scorcher. If I can do it on camera. Find it all. Oh, I took the wheels off it. Of course I did. See, this goes on here. And this mounts on the back and it's supposed to have wheels on there. That gives you an idea though. There's the new Scorcher. There's the old Scorcher. It's about 3 times the size. Everything gets bigger in 40K. I don't know why. It always has. Though the vehicles are more to scale now than what they used to be. So, anyway, couple Boar Boys. Probably going to sell them off. I don't use Boar Boys. This is the old Nobz biker. And I used to love it because what it is this little orc in the front actually drives a bike. And the Nobz sits on the back and gets to do all the shooting and punching and killing. Here's some Rogue Trader style Ork war bikes. Very tiny. Awesome little models though. But you see those, then we move back. This is a 2nd edition war bike. Well, slightly modified, but I got a squadron of those, another squadron of those, another squadron of those. The blue ones aren't done yet. They need to be finished and dirtied up, and like I said, those riders aren't even painted. But then you go back, and this is the new edition war bikes. Now I do like the detail on them is much nicer on the newer ones. But again, the size. You went from that to that to that. It brings me to my copter squadron. And none of them are finished yet, but can't get them all into frame there. There we go. That's my Def Copter squadron. The red one's about half done. And this here is the old 40K Dreadnought, which is basically a Def Dread now. And behind him, 6 killer cans. They're all the old metal ones. I haven't got any of the new ones yet. I got plans to buy a box of them though because I think they're cool. A bunch of the old style trucks. There's just a stock one. That one doesn't even have a crew in it right now. There's one with a crew all painted up. And I got this one here with the grab a claw. And this one's really nice here with the ball and chain there. Wrecker ball, I think they call it. Actually has real chain on it. Because the plastic one that comes with that kit breaks in like 2 seconds. Got my Pride and Joy, my Looted Leman, which is like half painted still. All these were being used in the game for the last couple of months, so I haven't been able to touch them to paint anything. My Looted Vindicator. And these last two, people are going to argue with me, aren't GW, but they are. They're actually made by ArmorCast back in the day when ArmorCast had a license to make GW models. This one's called a Bowel Burner, which is basically a Hellhound with heavy bolter sponsons and Orky armor, which means it blows itself up more than anything. And the gigantic exhaust pipes on the back. And then behind that is the ArmorCast Stompa, which I still plan on getting a GW one because the new ones look cool. But again, they're like twice the size of those. So there you go. And I'm sure I have more in a box somewhere, but just give you a rough idea. This is just my GW minis. And I will be making a video soon that has the entire army, including all the proxy and homemade models and the great Gargant that everybody seems to love. Anyway, thanks for checking it out, and we'll have some more videos up soon.